All right. Welcome, 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 y'all. Welcome to the Stack Office Framework. We'll get started in just a few. If you're just joining, go ahead and grab anything that you might need: notebook, pen, papers, water. We'll be here spending time together for at least an hour. And then I'm going to give everyone a few to be able to log on, log in. We're also streaming live on YouTube on my channel, Life Student Academy. Let me go ahead and drop that in the chat for us. Whoop. Okay. Let's go ahead and remove this bad boy. Boom. Welcome, welcome, welcome in, y'all. Welcome in, welcome in. We are live. Don't worry. I am here just giving us a few moments. Always have, you know, a moment to help people just in case they need to log in, log on. So, in the meantime, feel free to grab whatever you feel you might need. Um, Pen and paper to take notes, obviously. Otherwise, maybe some water. We'll be here for at least an hour together, and we're going to get started in one more minute. Going to share my screen with you guys. All right, let's keep this open just in case I have people trying to reach out. So y'all pardon me if I look at my phone or if I pause for a few and for a second. I want to make sure you're taken care of and our people, our team is taken care of, right? A community, and that everyone's able to log on, log in. By the way, go ahead and share this with a business partner. May that be your friend or family, and maybe not. Maybe you don't have any blood relation, but you know another business owner. Be sure to share the wealth because that's what we're doing today. We're sharing the wealth and sharing the knowledge, right? All right. So thank you so much for joining me for the Stack Office Framework. I'm super excited to talk more about offers, right? When we kicked this off for Small Business Month last month in May, we talked about our dream small business, right? And now we're getting into the framework of our business. So we had a really good conversation around frameworks and how the framework is actually the foundation to our business. So we want to build a solid foundation to our business. So the interesting part about a framework is that everything inside of that framework also needs a framework. So we continue to build systems around everything that is inside of our business. And what we're focusing on right now is our offers. That was the first corner that we of our framework that we talked about when we kicked off this webinar. And we're going to focus on offers for quite some time. Why? Well, because we need to create irresistible and compelling offers. That's why it's really important that we do so. Okay. The offers. So that is the solution to someone's problem, right? That's your product or your service that you're selling to your potential customers. You want to make sure that you have at least one strong offer. And you're going to hear me continuously say that if you have one offer, you actually have four. And that's something that we'll dive deeper into in today's conversation. But keep in mind that your offer is not just a product or a service. When we talk about our products or a service, it is just a tool to a mean, right? So when we talk about a product or a service, the payoff is actually a solution to others' problems, a solution to our customers' problem. And it's really important that we're looking at it from that perspective for several reasons. So we're going to dive in and talk more about those. But let me go ahead and share screen. My slides are a little bit too large to bring them up here. So we're going to swing it to a share screen. And it's going to look a little something like this. Hit it. All right, y'all. So here we go. Do me a favor. If you are in this room on StreamYard, I need you to give me a thumbs up in a comment box to let me know that you can both hear me and that you can see my share screen. I'd really appreciate it. Say, yes, I can see. Yes, I can hear. And I'll do my best to make sure that the sound stays good and that the visuals stay on point. So last week we had some hurdles, y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you. It's all good though. We bounce back and we keep it moving. All right, so here we go. So the stack offers framework. Before we go there, let's also talk about the overview for the stack offers, right? So first, we have to go through some things before we actually get to the framework itself. I want to make sure that you are aware and know these things, okay? The top 10 reasons why most businesses fail. Do you know the top 10 reasons why most businesses fail? Go ahead and drop that as well in the comments, right? So let's stay engaged. If I ask you, it's not rhetorical unless I say it's rhetorical. Go ahead and let me know in the comments whether you have heard of the top 10 reasons why most business fail. I'm sure you can guess one or two of them if you don't know the major 10. Next, we're going to talk about why every business needs at least 4 offers, right? Think about how many offers you currently have. Maybe you have many, maybe you have none. But like you hear me say, and I'm going to continue to say it, if you have 1, you have 4. And we just got to make sure that those 4 offers are aligned with your business and that they actually solve people's problems. Next, we're going to talk about the one missing piece most businesses or business owners mistakenly overlook. And it's a super important piece. So we want to make sure that we stay tuned in for that so we can avoid any missteps because we're talking about it. We know them now. All right. And then finally, we'll get into the stack offers framework. All right. Boom. So next, let's get into the top reasons, the top 10 reasons why most businesses fail. But before we get there, we actually want to look at one of the offers, right? So we're talking about offers today. I have an offer here, and it's the perfect example of why most businesses fail because of their offers. Okay, so I pulled this from a fitness coach's page, right? So here's the message, the market message that he put out about one of his offers. It says, "Hey friends, I got a new training program for anyone who wants to lose weight, get toned, get lean, become more flexible, and maybe even gain muscle depending on your goals. I don't have a website yet, but just send me a message and I'll reply with more details as soon as possible. It's only $299 for the program. And I only offer this one program at the moment. So if it's not for you, that's okay too. I help anyone who wants to change, whether you're 18 or 65, no judgment. Just message me if you want more info." So this is a product offer, a training program product offer. What is wrong with this offer? I'm going to give a few seconds for you to critically think through it or even read through this again. Yes. Nice job, Terry Renee. Thanks so much, right? It is way too general and broad. There's no niche, right? So those are great examples already, TT, and keep them coming as you think of them or notice them. Now, utilizing this market message, which a market message is important. This is the communication between you and your leads or potential customers, right? So, what we say to those customers are important. The top 10 reasons why most businesses fail is for one or all of these reasons on this slide. lack of clarity on the offer's value. Okay, just like what we just witnessed and looked at a second ago. Okay, who is the niche, right? What's the actual offer? It's general and it's broad. So, what is this offer actually, right? We got some sentiments about the offer. It's a training program, it's in fitness, it helps you lose weight, gain muscle, get tone, get lean, become more flexible. But all of those things at once, and then depending on who I am, I might have certain needs. So I still don't know whether this product is for me or not. Lack of clarity on your offers is one of the top 10 reasons that your business can fail if you do not have a clear message on your offer's value. The second reason is going to be that you might be targeting the wrong audience, right? So, again, going back to the example that we just heard from the market message from the fitness instructor or trainer or personal trainer, right? He said, this training program, if you want to change, it's for anyone, whether you're 18 or 65. 18 and 65 is two completely different bodies, right? How can this training program possibly be for anyone between the ages of 18 and 65 without giving more details already? Like, I need to know right off of the bat because this already doesn't sound right, right? And remember, when we use the words anyone and everyone when we're talking about our products and service, or if you have the mindset that you want to serve everyone, you will most likely end up serving no one. And that's a fact. You have to at least be able to target a particular group of people, even if it's a mass amount of people or even if it's a small niche and group of people. You want to make sure that you are tailoring your message when you are communicating with your audience and you're asking them or suggesting that they purchase your products and service because it's for them. It's so important to make sure that you are specific to who you're helping in your market message to your audience. The third reason that most businesses fail is that they're not using and invested in automated tools. Okay, this is also very important as you think about your business going forward. And when you think about generating income and revenue, y'all, a portion of your revenue needs to go into the systems in your business. Okay, if you don't have a booking system, if you don't have an automated system to get back to your potential leads on your social media platforms, in your emails, it's really important that you're investing in this. Wherever you're at right now, which more than likely, if you're not an aspiring dreamer for your small business, you're in the early growth stage of your business, but an established business owner nonetheless, y'all, corporations end up growing to scale without having the proper systems and go through overwhelm, burnout, miss out on potential customers all the time because they are not invested in automated tools. This is not an option, especially if you are a solopreneur. You need to automate your systems. You have to work with more AI tools, and that's something that we'll continue to talk about in conversation as we're building our small businesses together. Next, you only have one offer. Y'all heard me say it multiple times. If you have one, you need four. If you have one, you have four, but you have to actually build it out as such. Okay. So that was a part of the framework that we discussed in May. We talked about offers, leads, content, and systems. These are all things that you're able to actually now provide value for back out into your market once you establish them within your own business. If you have one offer, you need more than one. You need four at least, if not more. And you can get to four if you have one, even if you're still in the production stage and you might not actually have the physical product that you're offering, or you may not be actually doing the service just yet. But as you are ideating on what your offer is, you also want to think about how you can create additional offers around this one. All right. Next, we got poor positioning. Okay. Poor positioning. It's really important that your product and service stands out because it's very likely that you already have competitors. So, why would I come and participate in your business if I can go to this person who also has seemingly the same product or the same service? You want to make sure that you're standing out. Think about it. Even when you go to the grocery store, there's tons of products on the shelf, but very strategically, the very eye line and middle space of the shelves, those brands actually pay the most money. Why? Well, because more than likely, there's potential customers that's going to see it and not look above, not look below, and also not spend the time to compare and contrast the different products that's there as well that's very similar. So, it's really important that as you're thinking about your brand, your logo, your colors, XYZ, that you're also thinking about what will naturally make your product stand out or your service stand out, especially when you're in the early growth stage and you're not investing a ton of money into advertisements and marketing like shelf life or even ads, spending ads when you go onto YouTube, when you use your social media. So it's not imperative that you spend money, especially when you're not generating consistent revenue and income, nor increasing it, right? It's not imperative that you spend all of this money before you actually figure out your position. Okay. How are you going to make your stuff stand out against everything else that's out there? So that can be things like the color of your brand and logos and things of this nature, but it's also a part of your market message. It's also the way that you are growing your community around your products and your services. It's also included in price. All of these things are included, and you want to make sure that you're standing out from your competitors. Okay. Let me just check on you real quick in the chat. Cool. Appreciate you. Go ahead and let me know as you have any thoughts that comes up around this as we move forward. Drop that in the chat, okay? We learn from one another. All right. So, 6, confusing messaging, just like the one that we saw in the example between the ages of 18 to 65. This training program helps, or if you want to lose weight but gain muscle mass and get toned, become more flexible. Listen, I'm a fitness instructor as well, and I also do personal training. And I'll tell you one thing, that while that program that was mentioned in the previous example, there's ways that that can actually work in actuality, like if you actually go through the program. However, for a lead who is looking and reading a market message, it's confusing. If I am a person that wants to gain more muscle mass, which that training program does, but I'm not looking to lose weight, it doesn't seem like that product is actually for me, even though I fall into the ages between 18 and 65 and anyone that the program would help. We need to be mindful about our message. We need to make it simple, keep it short, so that we don't confuse people and they can understand. This can be really hard in the beginning for most small business owners, especially when you offer a lot. Still, you want to hone in on a particular product and service and who that helps. The other offers that you have will have a completely different message. And that's okay. That's actually great because we want to communicate the most simply we can when it comes to talking to our audience so that they immediately understand that what we're offering is for them and they're able to make a decision. When things are confusing, we no longer want to make a decision. And that's when we get the I'll think about it, I'll let you know. No, this is not for me right now. Make your message simple, clear, and direct. Number 7, the top 10 reasons why most businesses fails because there's no emotional hook. The only reason we do anything, we buy anything, is because we are emotionally moved. So, as a part of our advertising, think about actually when you create content for your products and services, especially when you're talking directly to a camera or you're talking directly with a potential lead. You don't want to just go off of the mouth of the features and the benefits of your product and your service. You want to understand that person's pain points. They're looking for a solution because they have a problem. Problems cause pain, they cause headaches, they cause stress, and they want a solution. And so your solution has to be just as emotional, your solution, your product or service, but when you're communicating, it has to be just as emotional as the problem. And here's the thing, a hook happens within 15 to 30 seconds of you speaking to your potential customer. And to be honest, nowadays, 30 might even be too long. We want to hook our audience immediately. So as soon as we understand their product, or sorry, as soon as we understand their problem, we're able to empathize. We're able to sympathize. And then we're able to connect our solution to their problem, either through testimony from ourselves or from our customers, or from reviews, or from real life examples. But this is something that we also need to come back and practice and get really good at, is being able to hook your audience, your potential customers, fast before their mind wanders and goes somewhere else, or before our message gets confusing. Number 8, top 10 reasons why most businesses fail. Weak or no call to action. A call to action, again, we have to actually tell our audience what we want from them. We cannot just assume they know that we want them to buy our product just because we're talking about it. We have to ask, we have to say, right? So a call to action is, I need you to take this action now. And we want to make sure that it's not weak. On top of ensuring that there is a call to action, it can't be a weak one. Again, like in the previous example of the training program from that fitness instructor that we saw, right? If you think this product is for you, send me a message. That's weak, right? Send me a message is the call to action. Send me a message now is a stronger call to action than the previous statement of just saying, send me a message. Send me a message now, right? You actually need to say these things to your audience. Subscribe now, buy now, reserve your spot now. Okay? Use your AI tools, your writing tools, to ensure that you have a clear message and a strong call to action for your solution. It's important. Number 9, top 10 reasons why most businesses fails, because your offer is either overpriced or undervalued. And both are just as equally as important as the other, right? So many times when we talk to small business owners, product seems overpriced, or small business owners struggle with actually charging for their value because they're scared to charge for the price of the value that they're giving, or maybe just genuinely don't know what it is. Well, number 1, do your research. What the market value is, you want to be aligned with that. And it's typically a range, right? So if someone is charging $5 for a product or service that seems similar to yours, and then you see another business that's charging $50 for a similar product or service to yours, that is your range. If you are going to go outside of that range, the value has to match and add up. You can't just charge more without giving the actual value for the more that someone is paying for. So that's important. So that means that you're going to have more features and benefits. The payoff, the transformation is going to be way greater than any one of your competitors, hence why your price is different. Otherwise, it'd be ideal for you to charge within the range to start, and then you can always modify and change later based off of demand. So you have to understand your supply versus your demand by doing your market research first. And you want to make sure that you are not undervaluing your product. When things are too cheap, people take action but don't actually do the thing, or they don't take action. I can tell you how many times I've done something free and a person and an individual has not been able to complete the thing because there is no motivation to do it because they did not pay for it. This happens. Drop it in the comments if you've ever experienced this before, where you've had a client or you've had a customer or even a lead that asks for something, and you give the thing to them for free or a super low discount, and they don't complete the actual action. Well, they didn't pay for it, right? When you are in debt and you have a sense of urgency because they give you a timeline that you need to pay your in within your billing cycle, right? So if you have a credit card and you need to pay that credit card on June 13th, you know that on June 13th, if you don't pay it, there's going to be consequences. Your customers have to feel the same way about your product and your service, right? We want them to feel the same way, and not because we want them to suffer the consequences, but because we want them to receive the payoff and the transformation. And we know that they'll receive it if they do it. They have to do the thing, buy the thing in order to receive the transformation and the payoff. And typically, when you charge more for that value, they pay attention a lot more. So that's one of Alex Hormozy's. If anybody knows Alex Hormozy, super awesome content creator, gives a lot of value about operating a business. Okay. He says when your customer pays more, they pay more attention. Think about it. Don't we do that too? When we pay more for something, we pay more attention to the thing because it costs more. So it we know that it's too costly to not pay more attention to this thing. So it's really important that you are in line with your business value, your offer values, and within the marketplace. Finally, the top 10 reasons why most businesses fail. Number 10 is because there's no follow up or sales system. So here goes this word again, system. Your business needs a system. So once a person purchases your product or service, what happens? Currently in your business, what's happening? What happens after they purchase your product or your service, your solution? What happens? Now, if you do not currently have a system set up, you need to, especially if you want to generate more revenue and income, because that means that you need more customers to purchase. And the more customers that you end up having, again, especially for my solopreneurs, listen up. This is important because another reason most businesses fail is because of burnout. When we are overwhelmed and working a lot, we end up burning out. We can't handle all of this work. If you have more clients and customers, it's more to handle, right? And we want more clients and customers. Okay. Don't think that you don't, you do. Okay. There's different tiers of clientele, right? You have your premium clients, but then what about your entry level clients? They still deserve the same value and the same delivery and premium results as your premium customers. It's not because the entry point might be free or low cost that they do not. They still need a follow up too. They still need to receive confirmation and a thank you after you've sold them a particular thing. So a follow up is important. A check in, right? After they've purchased, say, hey, how's it going? I want to make sure that you're happy with your product or your service, right? But without you having to do it, without you actually having to sit there and type that, especially every time. Maybe on the front end when you're building your system, yes. But on the back end, you want to have your systems in place so that they are automated and they automatically happen. And you could depend on this automated system instead of having to do it yourself or pay money to hire. Okay. AI is mostly going to be your cheapest employee and the most productive one. You have to enroll systems in place, specifically your sales page or a customer funnel, right? A sales funnel. You need one of the two. You definitely need at least a lead capture page. Lead capture means that's where we capture leads and information in emails. But again, we want to make this process easy and simple to deliver to our potential customers. Wow. So let's take a short break here. I just want to know, Bong, you love Alex. I love that, TT. I'm happy that you're on, Alex. That's my guy. Listening to my second Audible, one of his books. Absolutely amazing information. Okay, so appreciate the questions. Continue to engage. Yes, regarding poor positioning. Here, let's get it up here. Can we get this up here? Boom. Here's Terry Renee's question. Regarding poor positioning, what is the best way to research our competition? Would it be just searching on social media? Also, when you do locate your competition, what is the best next step to stand out if we have similar offers? Okay, so this is a really good question, TT, and there's a lot of solutions actually. So that's a good thing because you get to choose which one works for you. And we can I'll actually give you access to more of the tools that I've learned in regards to specifically researching your competition. So, yes, social media is definitely one space that you want to research, right? So, whichever platform you're already on, that'd be great to start. Next, you definitely want to go into Google Businesses. Okay. So, for example, Terry Renee, you may do, Terry Renee teaches yoga. Okay. So she teaches yoga. Your market is mostly women, right? So we're going to put in all of the specifics to your product and your solution, right? Maybe you have a demographic of ages. If you do, great. You want to mention that as a part of your research. If not, that's okay, right? You're going to input what you do have and what you do know about your market. And then you're going to look through the directory to see who is offering it. Now, do you offer yoga in person and virtually? Because then you do want to divvy that up. You want to search for your brick and mortar yoga spaces, right? And then you also want to search for what's happening online, especially if you do both of those things, because depending on your uh which space you're going to work in the most. And again, you're going to have offers in both spaces. You want to be able to curate your offer based off of the very specific and particular information that you input. Okay. So there's it's slipping my mind right now because Google has a directory of various things and ways to search for something. So I got you on my follow up to this to give you the specific. And if someone knows it, well, let's see, I got three people here. If someone else knows it, go ahead and drop it in the comment box. Let's make sure that we share. But I have one for you on Google specifically to help you research your competitors in your target market. Okay. Absolutely use social media, not just because you're looking at their particular product or service and how similar it is to yours, but also the way that they market it. What's their market message? Okay. You want to draw inspiration, or you might actually find a clue to what makes yours different than theirs. Okay. And if you are missing a piece in terms of like, well, if I know that I serve this kind of group of people in this market, but maybe the majority of the competitors you find are not focusing on women that's going through perimenopause or women that's uh, training for a particular event, or possibly even women that want to become instructors as well, right? So maybe that gives you a new idea as to how to stand out from the market, because you see a bunch of other small business owners doing this particular thing, but they're missing a particular market. So now you go and create a solution and target that market. But you definitely want to ensure that it is solving a problem. Okay, so it has to solve a problem. Also, when you do locate your competition, what is the best next step to stand out if you have similar offers? You want to build another offer. Think about the products actually um that actually sell better than others, and not just because they have money to advertise, right? It's because they're solving a problem that that product is not. Another thing to think about is how your product or service will thrive in the future. Okay, so we want to be forward thinking, specifically because we know, just like the good old Blockbuster and Netflix example, that if we don't stay ahead of the curve, and that if our products don't evolve over time, we won't stand out. So it's good to think about the payoff and the transformation your product and service may have, not just within the next few months, but 2 years from now, 3 years from now, five. What is the payoff down the line, right? And stay ahead of the curve. And this is great for your competitors, but also all of the changes that's naturally taking place anyway. And that's why it's so important to talk about things like your AI tools and your virtual assistants, right? Because we know those things are going to continue to expand. But one thing that's really great is to be able to create an offer based off what you do not see. You're going to see a lot of the similar things, and you're going to have a lot of similar things, right? But what's missing from there? What's missing? And are you willing to take that on? Because that's important, right? I think when we talk about when we get into specifics, we might be focused on one category. Like if it's men over the age of 20, or if it's women over the age of 40, right? But what does it look like to now craft an offer, maybe for a demographic that was missing? I mean, there might be a lot of yoga classes offered virtually and in person. What kind of yoga books are out there? And a book is a you okay, everybody needs a book. I just want you to know that so that whether you're working on a book right now, whether this is your first time hearing it or you've never thought about it, you thought about it before, I'm letting you know right now. You absolutely need a book, right? And think about, what does this book teach you, right? So think about another offer you can craft, because we're talking about stack offers. We're going to get more into it in just a little bit, but it's all aligned, right? So it's all aligned within the same values of your business, what you're originally selling, your main product, your core product, right? So you want to craft an offer for something that is missing from one of those businesses. So it's really good too to go ahead and check off some things that you think you already know that a lot of your competitors are going to have. But then on the other end, now on the other side of that page, you're going to write in either A, something new that you learned from your competitors that you didn't realize was important, because you can research deeper into that, right? Like how many people are doing this thing? Because if not many businesses are doing it, that's definitely a market you want to jump in. A market where it's not saturated. You see 100 businesses in this market versus 1,000. Jump into the 100 market, right? And then you also want to include, again, Anything that you get a clue to that you notice is missing, like, oh, they're not doing this though, and I could do that, and that'll help my products and service stand out. And then remember to A/B test, right? So you have to test your products and services with people. So you'll put it out there like, is anybody interested in XYZ, all of your discoveries, and then see how many bites you get so that you're not putting all of your effort and time into creating something that you think that somebody will want, but you know, based off of the research that you've done and because you asked. I hope, well, you said very helpful. I hope that answers your question, TT. Again, in my follow up email, you'll receive from me the tool that I think Alex is the one who told me, well, that talked about this particular tool in terms of researching your market. So I'm happy to share that information. Great question, TT. Okay. Let's come back to our presentation here. Next. So we went over the top 10 reasons why most businesses fail. And just know that all of those reasons, all 10 of them just means that you now have a conversion problem because you have to convert, right? Conversion is when someone takes action that you want them to take. And the faster that they take this action, the more successful your business is. We are responsible for helping people make decisions fast. If they have to think too deep about it or think too much about it, we're losing them. As soon as you hit with the eyes up in the air, they're thinking, right? And we want to help them come to the conclusion that they may not reach on their own, aside from, I shouldn't buy this right now because I'm confused. Yeah. So the faster your lead or your customer takes action, the more successful your business is. Why? Because we already learned in our Boss Moves book, Myron says, wealth, money has a need for speed. Your business needs to churn money like this. Like, you need the cash flow. It has to churn fast. Okay. That way you can invest into the things that you need in order to operate your business more effectively and efficiently. And you can continue to create more offers and solve more problems. Okay. So we want to churn one problem that we have right now, not converting, right? Into the problem of too many orders that maybe now we need to hire someone because that is how much people are demanding your product or service. Or maybe we get to charge more now for a particular service because you just don't have the time to fulfill all of these orders. So now, not only is your offer scarce, it's limited, it's exclusive, it's premium. That's how we want our customers to feel about it. Like, man, I really need this. It's like Beyonce tickets, y'all. Think about it in like that sense, right? There's only a certain amount of seats in a stadium, and you don't have time to really fiddle faddle and be like, well, am I gonna buy these tickets or not? Beyonce's tickets sell like that, even the nosebleeds. So before you know it, the tickets are gone because you thought too much about it. This We want our customers, potential customers, to have the same experience with our products and services. We don't want them thinking that long. We want them to make a decision fast so that they can have their payoff and their transformation fast as well. That helps our business. We help more people that way. Okay. It is a win-win on both ends. So if you are not converting currently with whatever offers you currently have, if you have a conversion problem, you don't totally understand your customer yet. And that's okay. This is why we're creating this community and having these conversations, right? Because we need to dig a little deeper into our customer. Great. You have an offer, you want to put it out into the market. Maybe your message is even clear, right? But who actually wants the thing? How do you know? Who are you connecting with? Right? So we actually want to be able to still engage with our customers so that we're learning more about them. Are you talking to men of a particular demographic or a woman of a particular demographic? Maybe you're talking to a couple, right? And maybe this is not all the time, but for this time I am, right? So maybe usually my products and services are for women over 30 that are persons of color, right? But now maybe I want you to bring your partners into it. So if you have a partner, make sure that you bring your partner as well. If you have a family, this event is for your family. So now you bring your family into it as well, right? Do you know that your customers have a family or not? Right? So this is a really integral part of your systems, right? So when we have a follow up, we're not just constantly asking our potential leads, right? Because they at least gave us their information. Maybe we didn't actually convert them yet. Okay, that's what we're talking about, not converting because we don't know enough about our customer. Okay, so maybe they didn't convert yet because they actually don't know about your products or service and who it's for. You just want to be able to find out more about them. So maybe your follow-up is thank you. Would love to hear more about you to see how I can continue to serve you at the highest level. Do you have a family? Are you a mother? Are you a father? What is your age and the rest of this demographic depending on who you're actually serving? Do you have kids? What are your kids into? Do they do sports, right? So then you can find out more information. This helps you to craft more offers so that you can serve this lead, not just for their problems, but now you're figuring out their family problems. Then they have friends that they refer you to and your products and your services to. You want to talk to them as much as possible and you need to listen. And when they tell you about the problems that they're having, as soon as they start talking into a problem, you don't focus on the problem with them, right? But you start to figure out what the solution is to that. So if you don't know, you're going to obsess over the solution to this problem because you already know you have a lead that is willing to buy it because they need that problem solved. So we got to be quick on our feet to ask questions. And once we receive the answer, that we use the response in the form of an offer. So I have a okay, hopefully that video plays. I need you to let me know if you hear the sound or not. I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay, sorry. Here we go.
I've seen a lot of businesses start and I've seen a lot of businesses fail. One of the most common mistakes that, in my experience, people make when they start a business is they're not clear what the value proposition to the customer is. They look at it through their lens. So let me give you a quick example. You heard the famous "sell me this pen." Do you know what the right answer to that is? It's not selling the pen. It's before I sell you the pen, tell me who I'm selling the business to. Value is not through your eyes. Value isn't through the eyes of the customer.
All right, y'all. So this is important. Let me just go ahead and okay, my man from Shark Tank. Good. I'm glad you was able to hear it. Okay. So that's Robert Hajivek. I always have trouble pronouncing his last name, but Robert, my man from Shark Tank too. Okay, he knows what he's talking about. He's a multimillionaire. He said it himself. Our value proposition is all kinds of messed up. It needs to be as clear as day in order to convert, and it's important. Each one of our offers, it needs to have a clear message, and we also need to understand our consumers' needs. Okay, so he used it. One of the infamous lines from Wolf of Wall Street. If you've seen Wolf of Wall Street, go ahead and drop that in the comments below if you remember this part. Okay. This is also connected to our second bullet point from our overview. We said that we would talk about why every business needs at least 4 offers, not just one. Okay. In the Wolf of Wall Street, there's a part where Leonardo DiCaprio is talking to one of his colleagues, and he tells him he's helping them with sales, right? He's great at sales. He says, "Sell me this pen," and his colleague has a hard time selling him the pen. Okay. Finally, they come to a point where they understand who the pen is actually for, just like Robert said. It's not because we see the value of a pen. Maybe that's $100 pen. Maybe it's not just uh uh what's it, a ballpoint pen that you could get in Dollar Tree, right? Maybe it's not that. Maybe that pen actually costs $100. Maybe it's engraved. Maybe it still writes in ink, right? Like was it like the feather pens? I forget what that kind is called, right? Maybe it helps with calligraphy or something. Like okay, I'm going overboard, but you understand what I'm saying, right? Okay, so maybe it's a really cool pen and the pen's even expensive. Let's say that compared to other pens, right? It's great, it does magic. Still, you may have trouble converting even with your fancy, high premium, nice writing, super legible, lightweight, engraved pen, right? Because I already have a pen, bro. I don't need another pen. I already have one. Who are you selling the pen to? Okay. Your value proposition is inclusive of you understanding your customer and who you're selling it to. So you'll go rattling off, just like I did, about the features and the benefits of this amazing pen. And you don't even know that your lead has a pen already. They don't need that pen, even with all this fancy stuff and all of the time and effort you put into creating that pen, selling it, or even just talking to me about it. Even if you did none of those things, just spending your time with me, the most valuable thing we have, right? It's time. You have to know your customer and their needs. You are creating and crafting your products and services based off of their needs. That means you have to ask questions. Whoever is currently on your email list, you should be sending them some sort of communication that is simply question based because you want to get to know them better. Once you have that information, you're going to take the majority and then you're going to craft your offers and your events based on that. So we don't want to jump the gun in creating these amazing experiences, because it's not even to say that our offers aren't good. Some of them are great. But what about what your lead, the person who's paying to come to the event or to purchase the product, what did they tell you from their own mouths or from their own minds that they need? Okay, that's important. TT, you said, give me 1 second. What was the last line that Robert said?
I've seen a lot of businesses start and I've seen a lot of businesses fail. One of the most common mistakes that, in my experience, people make when they start a business is they're not clear what the value proposition to the customer is. They look at it through their lens. So let me give you a quick example. You heard the famous "sell me this pen." Do you know what the right answer to that is? It's not selling the pen. It's, before I sell you the pen, tell me who I'm selling the business to. Value is not through your eyes. Value isn't through the eyes of the customer.
Value is in the eyes to the customer. It is not through our eyes, y'all. We have the best intentions for our customers, right? Or our leads. Like, we want to provide them this thing because we do have them in mind when we're creating and crafting our offer for them. But did you ask? Did you talk to them? What would you like to see at my event? What would you like to experience from that solution? What is keeping you up at night? What challenges are you facing right now? If you don't have the answers to the questions of the people that you're inviting to your offer, you're going to have to go back to the drawing board. Not even because you won't have some sort of conversion and good turnout, but what if it could have been better? Simply because you asked questions first. So it's great that we want to take action and we move, and we encourage that. Like, move, move, move. You got to take action. You got to do things. But, however, and you want to be inclusive of and every market that you are creating your product and your service for, your solution for, that you are including them in the process of production. Okay. You may consider this, you may double, triple, or even quadruple. Okay. Your conversion because you are giving them the solution that they asked for because you asked first. That is important. So, as a part of this conversation about an offer, right? We talked about sell me this pen from the Wolf of Wall Street. But this webinar is about stack offers and what that is. So, in order to stack an offer, you can imagine like the word stack, right? You need more than one thing in order to even create a stack, right? So, if you have one offer, you need four. I'd like to do a brief exercise right now. If you can engage in the chat, please engage in the chat. We'd love to hear from you if you have the capabilities to do so. What else could you sell with a pen? Think about that. So we're selling a pen, but we want to create 4 offers from this one idea. What else? What complements a pen? What else can you sell with the pen? Yes, TT, I agree. So simple, but so good. Thank you, Robert. What else can you sell with the pen, y'all? Give me 1, give me 2, give me something. What else goes with the pen? What can you sell with the pen? Thank you, TT. A journal or a notebook? Yes. Simple, right? So if you have a pen to offer, you want to have a journal or a notebook. What else can you sell with a pen? I'll jump in as well. Maybe you also sell refillable ink. Maybe a pocket protector. And what if, so now we have, okay, so let's say we have those, right? We have a journal, we have a pen, we have refillable ink, and then we have a pocket protector or a bag protector, whatever. Yeah. Great. And then now we want to package those other 3 things with our core offer, which is the pen. You can definitely buy the pen by itself. It's a lovely pen for $10 by itself, or you could buy this pen kit for $40, which includes a notebook, a refillable ink cartridge, and also a pocket protector and a bag protector, so you never have to worry about an ink spill or splat on your clothes or in your bag. How does that sound? I have a refillable cartridge. Now I don't even have to come back to buy a pen for at least a little bit, right? I have a new notebook and I have a way to protect my things as well as this pen. That sounds amazing. We want to provide our customers with at least 4 offers, y'all. Just like that. Your offers is going to complement your core offer. So what is your core offer? Just like this pen. And then the other 3 offers complements that main core offer. Write it down in your notebooks or type it out wherever you're at. And just to get it out of your mind of what you think your offers can be if you currently don't have 4. And if you have 4 currently, do they complement each other? If you have more than 4, same thing. How do you package your core offer with your other 3 so that your customers can see the value of buying the entire package versus just buying the one offer? It makes much more sense to purchase the kit than to just purchase the one offer by itself. And even if I couldn't, maybe I didn't come here to spend $40. Maybe I don't have $40 to spend on your pen kit. But the pen itself that you originally came for, still $10. Right? So we have different entry points. But then we also have more value to provide to each one of our consumers in that first interaction. So what are your other 3 offers to your 4? Because you absolutely have to create more offers. If you don't have 4, you need 4. If you have 1, you have 4. You just haven't thought about it or created it yet or put it all together, and that's okay. So let me check in with the chat real quick. Just want to make sure that I'm engaged with you because I'm engaged because I'm asking you to engage. Bundle it. Yes, T, you need bundles. Okay. So we'll talk more about bundles in just a second, actually. I have another video for you. This one is approximately 3 minutes. So feel free to have a sip of water, to tap in and to relax, but listen up. This video is so inspiring. It's so motivating. I mean, this person started with what seemed like nothing and then flipped that nothing into something. And so I'm so excited to show you this. This was sent to me and I was super motivated and inspired. Terry Renee, I believe you sent this to me, so you may find this one familiar. And here it goes.
A man from Detroit went from being homeless, sleeping in his car outside fancy houses in Detroit, to buying one of those houses and becoming a self-made millionaire.
And guess what? He's not stopping there. Mario Kelly was able to accomplish all of this and is still motivated for more. And Dave joins us now. How did he do this?
Yeah, it's really about the power of belief and taking opportunities. Mario Kelly embodies the saying, if you believe it, you can be it. It's something he's done again and again. And I had a chance to speak with him as he starts the newest chapter of his life, tapping into the business of AI.
How may I help you today?
Hey, Emily, I'm with Dave Spencer from Fox 2 News.
The voice on the other end of this phone call is Emily. And as real as it sounds, it is in fact artificial intelligence, the latest creation of the very real Mario Kelly.
I have something called Believe in AI. It's an academy where it's also an AI assistant with emotional intelligence. You can have a 10 to 40-minute conversation. It answers the phone for you. It makes appointments.
Mario is a self-described man of action, pouncing on every opportunity that comes his way, a trait that started back in childhood.
I wanted the Nintendo games, or I wanted to go to the arcade on Woodward. My mother said, you had to get a job in order if you want to go to the arcade.
After working at a Ford plant and then Jacobson's, Mario eventually found himself unemployed.
At the same time, I was still living in my van. I was homeless, had got divorced. I'm from the east side, but I had manifested that I wanted to live in an area called Rosedale Park. So I would go over there every night, find a different house to sit in front of.
He says through manifestation and a belief in himself, inspiration took hold.
I put the word Believe 313 on a rubber band, and I would go downtown and just sell rubber bands.
And one day, opportunity came knocking at one door in particular.
Police were putting an abatement sticker on a house one day, and I rolled past it, and I said, what's going on? They said, we've been giving him tickets for 2 years.
He contacted the owner of that very home and offered $6,500.
He took that money, and then I just worked on the house room by room.
Other doors started to open, and Mario didn't hesitate to walk through. For instance, while touring a Shinola factory.
We walked into a room, it was filthy, it was dirty. And they were like, oh, I'm sorry, our cleaning company is terrible. I said, I have a cleaning company.
He didn't exactly have a cleaning company yet, but he did have $27 worth of cleaning supplies.
They told me, give us a proposal. You know, I went home and tried to figure out how much it would cost to do a building of this size.
He got the job, and 313 Cleaning was born. Then came the next opportunity.
In 2021, no one wanted to go to work.
Right.
So I said, let me start Believe 313 staffing.
Word spread of his success, which again led to new chances.
I started hiring a lot of returning citizens. And they would tell me, man, your story is, we talk about your story to people in jail all the time. So I said, I need to share my story.
So he did.
I'm the cleaning guy. You know, my whole journey started with cleaning. So
let's do that.
Yeah, let's show them where it started at, where the $27 started at.
That may have been where it started, but Mario Kelly has no idea where it will end. And he says that's a good place to be.
Let me know if there's anything else I can assist you with.
Thank you so much, Emily.
Now, while Mario Kelly does have a success story for sure, the story's not unique. He says anyone can copy the formula simply by believing in themselves and acting when opportunity presents itself. It's all outlined in his book. Here's the blueprint. You can get it on Amazon for $6. For MoneyWorks, I'm Dave Spencer.
Wow. Please, somebody tell me something moved within you. Tell me that you've been inspired, that you're motivated, that you can see how this conversation came together in this very video from Detroit News, Fox 2. Mario Kelly, y'all. Oh, I see you, TT. Appreciate that. Ebook journal workshop membership 4 offers, right? 4. That's perfect. Okay. Then you have, I love this story. He's extremely inspiring. He is. Okay. He was homeless. He had $27 to his name, it says. Okay. And with $27 from selling rubber bands with Believe 313 on the rubber bands, he achieves $27 and had $27 worth of cleaning products. He passed a home in a neighborhood that he's manifesting to live in, and it had abatement notices on the door. Those are violations. And when he sought out to find out what the problem was. And he heard what the problem was. They had a cleaning issue. They didn't have a cleaning staff. He had $27 worth of cleaning products. And I mean, he told a forward-thinking truth. Okay? So he told them that I have a cleaning company. Opportunity came about because he understood the problem. He knew his resources and what he had. And then he cleaned up that place so that there were no more violations. And then guess what? Now, once you do that job, right, he delivered on the value that he promised and got recommendations and referrals to other spaces. Ended up walking through a Shinola building, which is a prestigious clock or time and watch brand, right? Timepieces. And made another offer before he even had a cleaning surface. But because of the size of the building, he went home and did his research, he said, to find out how much he should charge for that size of that building. He figured out the numbers and also organized a team of returning citizens, right? People who spend time in jail that's coming back into civilization. Organized a team with just over $6,000 to clean the Shinola building, and then ended up creating more offers from there, right? Now, do you see the momentum that gained from the one offer he made, which was a service, started at with $27 of cleaning products to his name? Ended up having to hire people to help him clean these buildings of larger magnitudes. And because they're a larger size, you get to charge more, right? Fast forward, Mario Kelly also has a book, The $27 Millionaire. And when this conversation, they actually started with probably one of his most expensive products. I can't imagine that this isn't the most expensive product that he has. I can't imagine it. I would love to know, but I don't know. He started an AI product for emotional intelligence. Did y'all catch it in the beginning? How he broke down what it does? Very specific. It's an emotional AI, artificial intelligence bot that you can call and it'll talk to you for 30 to 45 minutes and help you book appointments and find other resources. He told us exactly who that product was for and what it does. Guys, I hope that this is making sense to you that yes, you need at least one offer, and then you're going to craft your other 3 offers around that. They're similar. So Mario started a cleaning service with his cleaning products and continued to seek out industries and companies that had problems cleaning their space. And so he upsells his service, hires when he needs to because he can't do it all by himself as a solopreneur, eventually has a book, right? $6 on Amazon. Remember when we talked about offers, your lead offer, your call offer, your premium value offer, and your continuity offer. Okay. Your low entry points. I want to know how to become a millionaire. And especially if I have only $27, I have a little bit more. So if I could do it with 27, I don't even have to use all my money. I want to know how Mario Kelly did it. And I could purchase his book from Amazon for $6. Okay. And then I can only imagine that his continuity offers with these large corporations. You talk about continuity offers with B2C, right? Your consumers. What about your B2B businesses, right? Your business to business customers. That's you charge more for that. Oh my gosh. How inspiring and how perfectly aligned with the conversation that we're having today, y'all. Okay. How many offers did Mario make? I named at least 4. I might have missed one. He might have said something else, and I'm sure that he has more. Mario went from cleaning the buildings himself to building an AI product. He is sitting in his office in a suite somewhere, at least seemingly so, right? But nonetheless, we had him live showing us the product that he built. This could be you. Mario was sleeping in his car and going into neighborhoods that he wanted to live in the manifestation. And that led him to opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. That's happening for you. We're not different, y'all. All right, so we know Mario made at least 3 offers, and Terry Renee said he didn't stop, right? He didn't give up. He thinks quick on his feet. His I'll figure it out attitude is something I can learn from. Yeah, figure it out. It's becoming well, I guess easier or simpler for me to when I'm in conversation with others, even if it's your friends and your family, that we're not just listening and nodding our heads. And man, that's messed up when they're talking about their problems. How can you solve that problem? Through an offer, not just from you doing something labor intensive to help them. And maybe you don't even have any control to help them at the magnitude that they are without a product or a service. Don't just stop at one offer. Every opportunity that you have to communicate with someone, they're going to tell you about a problem. So maybe maybe the solution is aligned with your business. Maybe it's not. Maybe you have a referral that you can give them to, right? Instead, I get plenty of referrals for fitness through my family and friends, right? So we want to make sure that we have our offers ready. And then we want to listen to our leads and customers. Let them tell us what their problem is and what they wish the payoff, the transformation, what the solution would be. And we want to see how our current offers can help them or how we can build a solution to help them. Next, we're winding down to the last bit of this presentation, and I want you to know that while we're so much like Mario Kelly, right? An ordinary individual, but a passion and a desire to do extraordinary things, even when we don't know what it is and where it's going to lead us to, or we're not sure, we don't have all the answers, but we jump on the opportunities. I want you to know that you are so close. If you've created a product or a service, but it's not converting the way that you want it to, you are so close if you host events and maybe it doesn't always turn out the way that you want it to and that your expectation is for it. Maybe you are a solopreneur or entrepreneur in a business and you're currently offering barters in exchange for your products and services. And while barters are great and effective, right? Barters aren't cash flow. Your business needs cash flow. So you can't barter your way to scale your business. You need money. And so you have to exchange value for others' money. So we can't spend the whole time bartering. You need to create more offers because you're so close. to hitting that one sale, just like Mario Kelly did, where he went from having $27 worth of cleaning supplies to $6,500. Money that he can reinvest back into his business. And when he had the next offer, that he can actually hire people. You are so close. If you've been to a workshop or free webinar and gotten tons of information about what you can do in your business, but you still don't know how to put the pieces together just yet, that's okay. You're so close. You're so close if you're constantly listening to content, podcasts, reading books. But again, you still haven't quite made that fit into the application that turns into conversion. You're so close if you have helped someone before and converted. And so now you got a taste of that and you want to do it again. So you're motivated to create your next product or service. You're motivated to help more people because you saw the payoff and the transformation. You're so close. Nonetheless, you still have a missing piece. We talked about that missing piece already, but we're going to dive deeper into that missing piece right now. Your missing piece is the stack offer. Listen to me. Whether your offer is an idea right now or that it exists in a tangible form or even a service that you're going to offer, you want to create a stack offer based off of that core offer. That's your core offer. Whatever you have right now might just be your core until you've created your other three offers. Then you're able to fully say yes and confirm that that is your core offer or not. Your missing piece to conversion is stacking because people have to see the value in what you're offering based on the communication that they gave you, that you researched, and you understand that you've put all of that value into your current offer. Let's talk about the definition though, right? What is a stack offer system? A stack offer system is a framework which typically refers to layering multiple offers to serve and scale. Through your stack offer, or as Terry Renee said, your bundle, that's when you're able to give promotions and discounts offered by a company to stack them. So bundling the core offer with like products, like we just talked about with the pen, or like we saw Mario Kelly do with his cleaning supplies and his services. You want to bundle your offer. So again, y'all, you're so close. How many of us, because I know I have, how many of us have severely discounted or undervalued or undercharged for a product or service just because you're trying to make the sale? People are constantly asking for discounts on a payoff or a transformation. But remember what we talked about when we undervalue our products and services. They don't pay attention. They don't take it seriously. They don't take you up on the offer anyway after they ask for it. So we need to go back to the drawing board, because all that means, it doesn't mean that your offer that stands right now is not a good one. It does not mean that even your idea of your offer is not a good one. But it does not make sense to discount and offer and continuously offer a promotion on just one of your products and services. Because if you only have one, you cannot afford to continue to discount it or to have to run a promotion longer than a sale, like an event. Like this month, it's June, right? We have Pride, we have Juneteenth, it's Black Music Month, right? So when you're running a promotion, we just came out of Memorial Day, like those are promotion. They are time sensitive, right? So there's a sense of urgency. You need to purchase this now because there's a promotion for this particular occasion or holiday or event. You're not going to see this sale again like this. But that can only make sense when you're providing more value through more of your offers so that when you charge the correct price, it also makes sense for your customers to pay that because they're receiving so much from this one offer that's actually bundled with a bunch of other things. Okay, so we're gonna move forward, but before we do that, let me just check the chat. I appreciate y'all for engaging. Well, thank you, TT. You're in the room. I appreciate you for engaging. Okay, I want to make sure that you're picking up what we're putting down here. I see that you are. So we're going to keep it pushing. Okay, so I'm going to give you an offer right now. Every time we come to a webinar, there's going to be an offer for you. So just know that from advance. This would only speak to my small business owners, whether you're an aspiring one in the phases of outlining your business vision and your dream, or that you're in your early growth stage. You've already started to generate some sort of income and revenue. Maybe it's not consistent, but you've started your business. Maybe you have an LLC already. Maybe you have an EIN number. If you consider yourself an entrepreneur or a small business owner, this offer is for you. Y'all heard me from the rooter to the tutor talk about this man, Myron Golden. And I've also offered this book to some of you in the past already. You need this Boss Moves book. And I'm going to tell you why you need the Boss Moves book. Even the concept of frameworks, right, has come from this book. Me coming to a webinar to be able to talk to you all about the 4 offers that you need versus just the one. The conversations that you need to have with your audience so that you understand them, so that you're able to convert any of these offers. To understand leads, content, and systems all came out of Boss Moves, y'all. It's a paperback, less than 200-page book for any small business owner who wants to optimize their offers in order to maximize their profits. Okay, the book is $29.95 and packed with value. Myron Golden actually offers all of the content that's in his book. In his premium offer, he offers that for, I'm not even kidding you, for a couple $100, what, $4.97? I think sometimes he runs a promotion for $2.97, where you can go into a room of other small business owners and you can ask your questions and you can hear others' questions and you can receive a lot of value from being in this room, in that room. And it's about a 3-week program. But for his one-on-ones, where he delivers the same value out of this book and out of that offer that I just told you about, a small collective of people that get to spend time these 3 weeks with Myron, he offers his one-on-one for nothing less than $40,000. Because he's able to, not because he thinks that his product is so good. Myron don't have time to serve all his customers. His demand is so high that he can charge $40K and get it with no problem right up front. Sure, you could do a payment plan too, but right up front. Myron also started with very little and nothing. Myron was born with polio in the segregated South. He was a sanitation. He was in sanitation as one of his top 3, 4, 5 jobs. Like he's worked in all kinds of ways. From a very young man, he was working with his father. And then eventually he made it to sanitation at a time where sanitation actually only received $6.25 an hour. That's a sought after job right now because of their benefits and how great it is. Okay. So $6.25, married, young, has 2 or 3 kids, if I'm not mistaken, and went bankrupt twice with a family, went bankrupt twice. Not very different than Mario Kelly. We all have a story. What is yours? And what is it going to cost you to continue to operate the way that you have? Jobs, not for nothing, they can provide some security, but jobs rarely create wealth. It's different from being comfortable. It's different from being financially stable and secure. Is not the same thing as being financially independent. or having financial vitality. It's not the same. There's levels to financial freedom. So you can be comfortable in a job that you know is going to pay you $50,000 a year only. You're not going to make more money than that. That is the value position, right? Robert talked to us about value position. The position at that job lets you know ahead of time you're only going to make $40,000 a year and nothing more here. If you want more money, you have to do something else. So if inflation does not change, if eggs stay $8 and up, what are you going to do? Find a second job and have less time to yourself, be more tired and put in less hours into your business? Or are you going to create an offer? So my offer to you is to learn about your business, and you need to start at the foundation. These are foundational principles inside of this 200-page book. And what I want to offer to you is that you don't have to read it alone. And also, you need an accountability buddy, and this is what this community is about. So you purchase this book for $29.95. I believe there's definitely shipping and handling. I believe it's $9.95. So you pay $40 in total, and you create offers to make that money back. This is not a negotiation, y'all. Like, we need to read and invest in the knowledge, and then we need to apply it so that becomes wisdom. And we go further and faster together. So that's what's in the middle here. So I want you to join my book club. My book club is actually underneath the Dream Team membership, which this may be your first time hearing about it, because I didn't talk about it much during the webinar. But if you've been to my sales page through my Stand store, you might have seen this Dream Team membership. Okay, so I'm hosting a membership for dream small business owners like yourself, and it's $35 a month. But instead of charging you the $35 and you already have to pay $30 plus the shipping and handling for the book, just join the book club and the Dream Team membership for free for this month. Well, for 1 month, let's say for 1 month, because it's already June 7th. You need time to get your book so that we could start reading together. Okay. After that, if you join today, okay, actually, I think I actually set it for 48 hours. So there's a reminder that will be sent to you to tomorrow through Sunday. But if you join it now, then you don't have to come back and think about it, right? You join now, then it's only $13 a month for the membership if you find what's included valuable. So what's included in a Dream Team membership? You'll have access to toolkits. So Terry Renee asked an amazing question about not just, market research, but how do you do market research? Do you know that Google has an actual tool to help you do market research? I got you. So I'm going to give you access to the tool. Okay. So we talked about AI automated systems. Well, which one should I use for my business? I got you. Okay. You'll find that out with the toolkits that's inside of the Dream Small Business membership. Okay. Any of the tools that you've seen before. So the ones that I've sent to you, especially during the challenge. So I have 2 challengers that's been doing amazing so far in terms of writing out their vision statement and making sure that their products are aligned with their business outline, right? And also crafting offers, actually executing the PDF files for the value ladder. You need to know who your target market is. And so how do you find out? You need to know the questions, right? That's a part of the toolkit. So obviously you'll continue to get expert guidance, not just through me. I obsess over this all day, y'all, is scaling my small business and giving out all of the information that worked for me and worked for all of the other experts that I followed, giving that out as much as possible. Okay. So you won't only have access to my webinars and my workshops that will come up, but also you'll have access to my carefully crafted and curated YouTube playlist of the conversations that small business owners need to be in the room for, to have, right? So that you know and that you're taking the right steps, that you're not doing guesswork, and you don't have to do a whole bunch of trial and error either, because you already have all of the information so that you can avoid the mistakes. So I'll also give you my virtual mentors. You'll have access to my book club as well when you join the membership. So after this book, we read another book, right? Because we want to continue to apply not just what's been working, because we're not reinventing the wheel, but what's coming up next. What's the problems that people are about to have that we can start to create the solution for right now? We have those conversations during our book club. Then there's exclusive perks. I will be doing a 3-week mini workshop where the offers that you craft, we're going to present them in the room so that we're able to test it before we put it out into the market to make sure that it works. This is no more guesswork, y'all. We need community in order to be able to test our products and services before we put it out into market, especially if you have to pay a fee for anything that involves you creating this offer. So if you have to pay a fee to rent a space or to be a vendor at a table, if you have to pay a fee to advertise and market, okay, you want to ensure that your offer covers your overhead cost. So there's no more, I can't afford this, or I can't pay for this, or I can't invest back into my business, because that's a problem. So the way that you create a solution is to make an offer. Okay. And then finally, you get a high vibe dream community. This is what I do all day, every day. I listen and read podcasts, listen to audibles, actually read this book. This is going to be my 3rd time rereading this book, or maybe my 4th. One of the two, because you have to apply what you learn. So it's great because this book is very legible. A lot of it is illustrations and pictures. I hope that you can even see it. I'm not entirely sure because I have a virtual screen on, but I just want to show you, like, remember being in school where you had pictures on the page and it took up half of the page, so there was just a few words to read. Like, it's very easy to read. It's very easy to understand. And just to give you an idea, some of the content that's in here, where Myron talks about how wealth has a need for speed. Did you know that money is not slow? That you don't have to work really hard for a dollar? This is not jargon and language that I knew growing up. I was told that I have to go to school, get a good job, work really hard at that job to make a salary that won't even pay me more than what they told me they would pay me, no matter how hard I worked. It didn't matter if I stayed overnights for when I worked in retail for 10 plus years, and that I worked really hard and that my feet will hurt and that my sleep will be the quality of my sleep was messed up for the next few days of recovery. It didn't matter. I got paid the same amount. Wealth has a need for speed. I've never heard that before. Myron talks about wealth in his book. Myron talks about if you want to scale fast, what to focus on first. Okay, there's 3 things. Some of the things we talked about, a lot of the content that we talk about in this webinar comes from this book. Okay, but you get to follow along, you get to highlight, you get to see what resonates with you right now, what you can do in your business, right? Myron talks about the different stages and entry points of converting leads into customers. He talks about the levels of value. He talks about what you must master in order to scale your business fast, which anyone can do. It's just whether you have the knowledge and the application, the wills to apply it or not. So I would like to read this book with you, but in this book club needs to get started. So if you're considering this, right? Because you're a small business owner and you have problems converting right now, and you need to solve your conversion problem, you need to purchase this book now. So I'm going to drop in my affiliate link. You purchase this book with my affiliate link, you get your first month of the Dream Team membership for free so that you can see how my offers will help you in your business. If they do, you get to decide to stay or not. It costs you nothing to actually join the Dream Team membership. But just know that because you're here with me today and that you're a part of this webinar and that you actually showed up, you get $13 a month going forward. Everybody else pays the $35. It's $35 for the Dream Team membership. Okay, so you have to execute and take advantage of this promotion because you will not have this after tomorrow. You will only have the opportunity to still join the Dream Team membership, but for $35 a month, and you'll still purchase the Myron Golden's book for $30, and we'll still read it together. That's cool too. But for those of you who love a good deal, I need you to do this now. So if you've already decided, yes, I'm getting the Myron Golden book, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my link. This is my affiliate link here. I'm going to copy and paste. It's going to take you to my Stan Store. All you need to do is hit this click me button on this screen that says Boss Moves by Myron Golden. Is it even showing it here? I have to check and see because I don't even know, y'all. My bad. I don't skip down and went to a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay. So let me just bring this up for you because I want you to see. All right, y'all. So yeah, here it goes. I hope you can see this. But nonetheless, once I drop this link for you, you'll see it right at the top of my Stan Store page. I'm dropping this link in the chat, and I'm going to leave it in the description on this live stream, literally only until tomorrow. So you'll be able to have it. It's actually coming through your it's actually going to your email. So you'll get a recap after this with a link to the video. So it's not going to be on YouTube's description. It's going to be inside of your email so that you can take advantage of this offer. If you're not in this room and you can't click on this current link, that's okay. It's coming to you after this webinar. Okay. I need you to purchase the book now. Another reason why you only have it up to tomorrow is because we need to start reading the book. So this is not time for you to dilly-dally about if you're going to wait till Thursday or Friday to get it. It's going to be too late. We're starting to read this book. It takes 7 to 10 business days to arrive. So when it arrives, you'll receive communication. I'll know exactly who purchased this book. So the people that do, I know exactly who's taking advantage of the Dream Team membership. Come on, Dream Small Business, stop playing, okay? We're big dreamers running a small business. Stop playing, okay? You'll have access to toolkits. You'll know what that means. You'll have a landing page. You'll have access to my curated playlist of the all of the podcasts that has helped me to get this far, how to run a webinar, how to run a workshop, how to speak and facilitate in front of people, right? What's a deeper dive into framework? What do I do? Because I know I need to create content. Shay keeps saying to put my stuff on YouTube, but you know what? It's really hard to create all these pieces of content, or I'm running into these hiccups and hurdles. And as you continue to ask questions, I continue to answer them by dropping more content for you. I got you, y'all. We're in community, and that's a part of the offer, right? You get this high vibe dream community. Okay. Your exclusive perk is that workshop that I talked about. You get discounts too. So when we talk about, again, having promotions and discounts, Dream Team members get discounts. Anybody outside of the membership circle will actually need to pay full price. I promise you that. So that's it. All you have to do is make sure that you take advantage of the offer when it's made to you, right? That's how it works. Okay. So this is my bundle today. You purchase the Myron Golden Boss Moves book. We read it together. We hold each other accountable. We learn, we apply, we create 4 irresistible offers. Okay. You take advantage of the toolkits, the guidance that's sent to you, and then any of the upcoming workshops. Okay. So we have one for the summer. That one's going to start in July, the 3-week mini. And we actually test our offers. We get feedback right here in the community, in the group. We work together and we make sure that we cover your overhead costs so that all of this stuff is paid off in the end. That's what happens, y'all. When you apply the knowledge, it pays off. That's why it's called a payoff, right? That's why we've been using that language, payoff, transformation. Okay. It won't open for you, TT? Why? Well, you can also type it in too, as you see it here, https://stan.store/Shayna Creates. I know it's the extra step of actually having to open another tab and write it in. This is exactly what we want to avoid, right? This is exactly what we want to avoid when we're talking with consumers, that they have to click so much. But when you have a problem and you solve it right there in that moment, your customers are more likely to do it. So feel free to copy and paste this link into a new tab to open up the Stan Store that looks like so. and then you just hit that click me, and it'll take you to fill out your address and make your payment for your book that will come to you 7 to 10 business days. Okay. And then, oh, one more link. So I got one more referral link for y'all who are already, if you're in this room or you're listening in, and this will be in your emails as well, is your your streaming. So if you want to host a webinar, you want to host a workshop in this kind of a setting, right, where you get to broadcast and stream. So I'm actually streaming on YouTube as we're live here, even though you're on StreamYard's platform watching me, right? You get to watch it on YouTube, you get to stream to LinkedIn, you get to stream to Instagram. So we want to cover more than one platform, right? Because that conserves our energy and time so that we don't burn out. We get to do more things. We get to create more offers. So if you're interested in streaming your webinar or your live stream using StreamYard, StreamYard actually offers a trial, but then if you use my affiliate link here, then you also get a $10 discount. So if you sign up, that's pretty cool. Okay. So I'll put that all inside of your email recap as well. You will have 48 hours, but as you read it and open it, I highly suggest you take advantage, because how many times do you miss a sale or offer or promotion because you were thinking about it? We were just talking about this. I'm taking that out for you. Just make your purchase now so that your book can come in time for when we start our read, which is in 14 days. So don't wait. Do it now so that you have it by the 21st. Okay. We come back together here on the 21st for the next webinar, which is now every Saturday still, but at 4 p.m. instead of the 3. So going forward, it'll be 4 p.m. You should have received a newsletter from me today. Okay. So you have all of my upcoming events thus far, anyways. And then, yeah, stay in contact with me either through the email that I sent, but just know that you can register for all 4 of the webinars for June in the newsletter that I sent you. You should have gotten it this morning. Okay, so in the newsletter, you'll scroll down, you'll see hyperlinks, click on the hyperlink, go ahead and register for the future webinars. Even if you're not sure that you can come, if you register, then you don't have to go haywire trying to register at the last moment. If you're able to attend, then you just show up using the link that you received from your confirmation email. Okay, 4 p.m. now, Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. If you can jump on StreamYard, that'd be great, because then you can ask questions and participate live. Otherwise, leave your comments down below on YouTube if you are streaming and watching from YouTube, or even through LinkedIn. Leave your comments there as well, because I want to follow up with you and make sure that all of your questions and your concerns are addressed as we come out of this room. But when we meet again next week, you'll have some confirmation. Okay. Very, very, very last offer for anyone who has an event coming up and you need help with the sales page. I'm offering also a free discovery call with me. So if you're watching this on your laptop, then you can go ahead and take out your phone and scan this QR code, and it'll take you directly to my booking link. So you get to get on a free 30-minute call, talk about your event, and talk about your sales page, because you need one. So beyond just creating this registration for your people to attend, you want to set up a sales page, even if your offer is free, right? So in my newsletter, you'll see I'm hosting and facilitating on Wake Up Everybody, also known as the Woo. There's a registration link there. It's a free offer for you to attend, right? But at that event, perhaps there will be another offer. And at your event, there'll definitely be another offer. You need to have another offer. All the events you go to, you need to have an offer. But nonetheless, I can help you set up a sales page based on where your business needs are at currently. But I want to make sure that you're successful at your next event so that all of your investments pays off as well. You deserve that, and so does your business. So be sure to scan this QR code as it's on your screen right now to set up a free discovery call with me for your upcoming event to ensure that you have a sales page set up before that event happens. Okay. And be on the lookout for an email from me with a recap from this session, including your offers, just in case for any reason you were not able to click on these links or get your Myron Golden Boss Moves book. Do that immediately. Can't stress that enough, so that we can start together on the 21st and in time. So if you do it now, your order will go in on Monday, and then it's 7 to 10 business days from there. So you want to get it the same week of the 21st, at least, if not sooner. And with that, my friends, I am complete. It was such a pleasure and it is such an honor to serve you based off of the conversations that we've had so far. I hope that I provided you with some value and some gems today. This week finishes off the 21-day challenge that we started in May. Shout out to Terry Renee and Deborah Nazon. You're doing absolutely amazing. Thank you for staying and connected and engaged with me. I know because you're paying attention who my customers are, right? And who this community is, right? And so all of the offers that I come to you with is because of what you've shared with me and because of what you told me. Aside from the fact of what has been working for me, I know what can work for you because these offers are created with you in mind, just like the conversation that we had today. Let's continue to build a solid foundation to your business and crafting irresistible offers and creating the systems to support it so that your wealth scales fast as well, because wealth has a need for speed. I'm grateful for you as well. Thank you so much, Terry Renee. The value is juicy as usual. Thank you for being engaged and dropping the comments down below. And I will see you in your inbox tonight. And then I'll also see you next Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our next framework webinar. And with that, namaste. Have a good day. Peace, y'all.